In this video, we'll be simplifying this large rational expression. We have 1 over x plus h quantity squared minus 1 over x squared, all of that over just h. Well, a nice way to do this is to first multiply everything by the lowest common denominator. And what I mean is, we're looking at all of the denominators. We have a denominator here and here, and the denominator on this is just 1, h over 1. Okay, so our lowest common denominator is actually going to be x squared times x plus h quantity squared. I'll write that down. Our LCD is x plus h quantity squared times x squared. Okay, so we're going to multiply everything by that. So I'm going to write that up here. And what we're doing is x plus h quantity squared times x squared. And this is just a fraction over 1. And this is x plus h quantity squared times x squared. That's over 1. And this is multiplied by x plus h quantity squared times x squared over 1. Now, we can do that because ultimately what we've done is multiplied just this large fraction, that's this fraction, by x plus h quantity squared times x squared over x plus h quantity squared times x squared. And then we've distributed to this and distributed to this, and then we multiplied in the denominator as well. This large denominator, this full denominator. Okay, so what do we get as a result? Well, when you multiply right here, these x plus h quantity squareds will cancel, so you'll be left with x squared in this fraction. So I'll be putting x squared over 1. So I'll just leave that as x squared. The next one, our x squareds cancel out, and what we have is x plus h quantity squared over, nothing cancels here because we have just 1 in the denominator. And so we have h times all of this stuff. H times x plus h quantity squared times x squared. And what we have here is x squared minus x plus h quantity squared in the numerator. So that's going to factor like this common form, a squared minus b squared. That factors as a plus b times a minus b. So I'll factor this numerator like that. And I've got that factored, x plus h times x minus x plus h. Now these parentheses are important because what happens here is this is subtracting the entire quantity x plus h. So this will turn into a negative x, and this will turn into a negative h. Well, x minus x is just 0. And then if we have a negative h here, so we have x plus h. So that will be 2x, right? X plus x, that's 2x, plus our h here. So plus h multiplied by this negative h. So negative h. That's left. The denominator will leave there. H times x plus h quantity squared times x squared. Now, this looks like a calculus problem. This is kind of a beginnings into a calculus problem. And so I know that just having done some calculus in my day, we want to cancel this h out. We don't want an h factor in the denominator. X plus h is fine. That won't hurt us. But we end up, without going too much into it, we try to let h be 0, and we can't have 0 in the denominator. 0 times anything else would make it 0. So we want to cancel out this h. So what we're going to do then is we finally have an opportunity to do that. cancel out this h with this negative h. That leaves us with a negative 1 there. So I'm just going to rewrite this where we want it. This negative, I'm going to put this negative just right at the fraction bar. And then we have 2x plus h in the numerator, and in the denominator we have x plus h quantity squared times x quantity squared. And that will be the simplified form of this large rational expression.